Do you ever feel like woodworking videos are hiding something? Like there's something a little bit fishy going on? Well, today I'm revealing 5 woodworking truths that no one really told me about, until it was way too late. And some of these have wasted a lot of my time and money. Now, here's a fun reality check. Woodworking, it involves a lot of mistake management, especially if you're a beginner. Expect patching, sanding, and just hiding your little woodworking sins, and occasionally covering them so well that you will forget that they were even there in the first place. Although, you will have to tell everybody about it. I mean, those are the rules. Wow, I mean, these are looking nice. You've made that yourself? Yeah, but if you look over there at a 30-degree angle under the sun and just go over it with a wet cloth, you can see some scratches. I mean, I could have done that better. If you're new, let me assure you, mistakes are inevitable and they are expected. At first, it feels like everything you do is wrong, and it probably is, which is why mastering the art of fixing your own mistakes is essential.
Ah, shit.
It seems that woodworking is about recovery as it is about creation. And with time, you will be so good at fixing your own mistakes that you will look at whatever you created and think to yourself, wow, this is by far the best mistake I've ever made. It is actually impressive. Anyway, I'd say keep some wood dust in a handy container. You can mix it with wood glue and you've got some very cheap wood filler, which you can use to fill gaps and many other things. And then just sand it off and forget that you cut it wrong in the first place. And we've all stood there, looking at 2 drills. One costing the same as your monthly groceries, and the other one as much as a pizza. And the pizza is good, right? So this should be fine. But here's the hard truth. Cheap tools end up costing way more in the long run than more expensive alternatives. Generally speaking, cheap tools break much quicker. And over your lifetime, you'll pay a lot more replacing cheap tools than just buying a good one in the first place. They are much harder to keep accurate and will decalibrate much quicker, which will not only be incredibly frustrating, but will actually waste a lot of your materials as well, and you will end up making far more mistakes. And believe it or not, they can't even be dangerous, as cheaper tools quite often cheapen out on the components that keep you safe. They may have lower quality guards, if they have any, and the risk of parts becoming loose is far higher, which is not ideal if you have a sharp blade spinning next to your face. It doesn't sound good. But before you say it, I know. Not everyone can drop big bucks on every single tool. And I'm not saying you should. I certainly can't. And I'm not saying that you should buy everything Milwaukee or Festool or DeWalt. That's definitely not the case, but rather to avoid the cheap no-name brands, which there is quite a lot of. For most people, I would say that Ryobi or Skill or any other mid-range brand is probably far more than enough. And also, you have to be quite strategic with what you invest in. My general approach, for example, is that the more time I plan to spend with the tool, the more I'm going to spend on it. With one exception. Anything that is quite dangerous, I will spend more money on, even if I don't use it very often. As an example, an angle grinder. I use it very rarely, but I definitely wouldn't buy the cheap one. Buy less and buy better, is what I say. If you have a better strategy, let us know in the comments below so that we can all learn from it. Hands up if this sounds familiar. You've got about 1 million projects going on, and your partner is casually dropping hints like, wouldn't it be nice to have a shelf right here? What if we threw out these bedside tables and you made us new ones? I mean, it can't really be that difficult. Now these are nice, but I think they're missing a handrail. While there are about 10 other projects that are waiting to be finished for the past 3 months or so. And because of it, you're jumping from one half-finished project to another. And you start cutting corners to speed things up. And before you know it, the simple weekend hobby that is supposed to save you some money, it turns into a frustrating nightmare. Sadly, I've been there. And rushing has never helped me to get things done. It always leads to you making more mistakes. And then having to redo the damn thing later anyway. You'll rush something through and then 2 months after you will say to your partner, why didn't you say anything? I mean, this looks awful. So here's some simple advice. Pick your battles. Make a to-do list, which can be incredibly long. I mean, these usually are. But the list of projects that are actually in progress that you are currently working on, it should be as small as humanly possible. Ideally, a single project at a time. Prioritize and slow down. It's better to finish later than never. At this point in your woodworking journey, you probably realize that completing a project is never as simple as just following a specific plan. You may create a perfect step-by-step instruction, but in practice, you will probably make enough mistakes to realize that that plan is more of a guide than an actual instruction. And that's great. Because every single time you finish a project, there will be various unexpected skills and lessons that you have to learn. You will actually discover many techniques and tips that you never anticipated needed. Maybe you'll have to learn how to sharpen your blades properly, or how to improvise a jig, or simply how much patience you really have. And that seems to be a common lesson. And over time, each project that you complete, it becomes a stepping stone, building confidence and expertise in surprising ways. 3 months from now, you will look at your early projects and just marvel at how much you progressed. You look at it and say, wow, this is awful. Who made this? And that's beautiful, because that's actually a visualization of how much you progressed as a woodworker. And it's a beautiful moment. Well, here's another dose of reality. Woodworking, it takes time. Specifically, at least 3 times as much time as you think. Especially if you're judging by those YouTube tutorials where they build an entire kitchen in just 1 weekend. Hello, my name is John, and today I will be showing you how to make this table. And all you will need is years of furniture making experience, thousands of dollars of equipment, and the patience of a saint. Something that everybody has. But here's a secret. In your head, you will probably skip all of the boring stuff. Sanding, cutting, preparing, and the many mistakes that you will make. And also finding the tool that you swore was just there, but then you spend about 2 hours looking for the damn thing. I still didn't find it. And so my point is, don't really trust your estimate. If you think it will take a weekend, give yourself 2 or 3. And also, you can break projects into smaller chunks. It might feel a little bit slower, but it will save you sanity. I promise you. And so, there you go. 5 woodworking truths that I genuinely wish someone told me earlier. Or more specifically, ones that I wish I listened to. You see, the best thing about woodworking is that it doesn't matter how tough it is. It will get tougher. But wherever you are, you're not alone. We've all been there and we've all made the same mistakes. If you found these helpful or have a disaster story of your own, please share them below. Misery loves company, after all. And remember, keep at it, because the only one mistake you can't fix is giving up.